A very good evening, Zimbabwe. Welcome to Live Talk. We're coming to you live from Studio 7 at the Voice of America in Washington this Monday, November the 28th, 22. I'm your host, Marvelous Mhlanganyahuye. And tonight on Live Talk, we're looking at the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Doha, Qatar, and how the 5 African teams which qualified are performing so far. Morocco broke the winning jinx by beating Belgium 2-0 in its first Group F match played yesterday. This was followed by Cameroon, which put up a spirited performance and drew 3-3 with Serbia in their Group G match. This morning, a nail-biting match between Ghana and South Korea brought another win for the African nation when the match ended 3-2 win to Ghana. Nasi tiri kutarisa zviri kuitika kumakwikwi eFIFA World Cup ari kutambwa kuDoha, Qatar pari zvino, uko kuine zvikwata zvishanu zviri kumirira Africa. Zvikwata izvi zvinoti Ghana, Cameroon, Senegal, Tunisia neMorocco. Vatsigiri venhabvu vazhinji vanoti vari kufadzwa nematambiro ange ari kuita zvikwata zvemuAfrica mazuva maviri apfuura. Chikwata cheMorocco nezuro chakawanikwa icho chichiita chekutanga chemuAfrica kukunda zvimwe zvikwata mumakwikwi ayo apo chakakunda Belgium 2-0. Nhasi taona chikwata chekuGhana chichikundawo chikwata cheSouth Korea 3-2 pane mumwe mutambo watambwa nhasi. Cameroon yaita mangange 3-3 neSerbia. To hear more about the views of people, our reporter Godwin Mangunjira spoke to soccer legend Maronga Nyangela, popularly known as the Bomber, on his view about the cup so far.
World Cup team and win. My own opinion, Brazil. They win a World Cup. Chatama final in France. Ndopa ndikuona ipapa kuti ndopa nemateams akabatana pachezvavo.
Ko muri kuonawo sei matambirwo aita World Cup kusvika pari zvino, the quality, refereeing and so forth?
Pari zvino hapana zvataona zvekukanganisika paWorld Cup, ezvine zviri kufamba zvakaita zvakanaka, but problem inongoitika ndeyekuti pama-edit time apa isusu hatisi kuziva kuti edit time iri kufamba sei, kuti pari kuzoiswa 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 6 minutes. Hatiziva kuti vanhu ipapa ngavati explainere, ipapa mareferi aifanira kuti explainera kuti edit time inoiswa according to kugoeswa kwaitwa bhora here nemaminutes avanocerebrata here, kana kuti handichaziva kuti ipapa zvofamba sei.
Imi mainzi the Bomber because maigohwesa. Vanhu vari kugohwesa here, tiri kuona the quality of
I think tutaura nezvemuno muZimbabwe hapana wamazuva ano ngoda kuti hapana unozoitita maplayers amazuva ano iye ari kumirira coach kuti amutraine paposition pake paanoita sei paanotamba, instead of iye azviite sei azvitraine ega, because kana ari striker haikona kumirira coach. Handizvo tamirire coach kuti akutraine iwewe wega, kana uchida kugohwesa magobhora ataigohwesa isusu. Ini ndaigohwesa magobhora because I used to do extra work. Ndina Jafet Muparutsa. I used to do extra work ndina Jafet Muparutsa. That's why ndaigohwesa magobhora aita seakawanda.
That there was soccer legend Maronga Nyangela, popularly known as the Bomber. He says he got this name after scoring a lot of goals, and he was giving some advice to strikers not to wait on the coach but to take initiative and score goals. Speaking to our reporter Godwin Mangunjga, VOA Studio 7 reporter Ezra Sibanda spoke to the former Highlanders FC Vice Chairman Morden Gwenya, who says the World Cup has been very interesting and that African teams have a chance to move from the group stages. Let's hear more.
Thank you, Ezra, for having me. Yeah, the World Cup has been very interesting, very exciting games, very captivating games that we've seen so far. When you look at Group A, yeah, it's not surprising that Netherlands, a football giant, for years is on top of the log, and there is an African country there. It's on position 3. They still have a chance of qualifying if they win the next game. And then you've got Group B. England is leading. England, naturally, by being a former colony of England, most of Zimbabweans actually support England. So, yeah, we have got them there. They are playing pretty well. USA, surprisingly, they are number 3. I thought they would be second, and Wales, very disappointing there. Is a football nation with stars in there. Unfortunately, Belgium may not make it because the way they are playing, they played Morocco, and Morocco totally outplayed them, outwitted them. They outfoxed them. You know, Morocco was. I would tip Morocco to go straight to the semi-finals if Lady Luck continues to be with them. Then Brazil, Group D, yeah, that you expected. Cameroon is not convincing to me, but I hope they pick up their socks and win games. Portugal, South Korea, Uruguay, and Ghana. To me, that's the group of death. I hope they do well.
Bulawayo's Pilani Sibanda told Studio 7 that he had lost a lot of money to soccer betting.
Kamana kumbani?
Hayi igama lami ngipilani Sibanda.
Ngiyakubona lapha ku sports bet ke kuhambe njani mntaweni?
Bengisithi ngizame la inhlahla ngifake $5 from izulu. Fake Argentina $5. Qalisa i-half time second half ayithaya. Angazi ekusokwenza nje. Namhla futhi la ngwazama. Athi kahle ngifake $10. Naso futhi sebethaya futhi Germany chaya. Team encane team eJapan. Hayi akunzima sure.
Imali yokubheja leyo ithatha ngawo.
Ngizama ukuthi ngiyisa la town dobado bayazi ithengise la ngithi ingezelele phela la into esengithole eningi kwahle kwayala.
Ekujwayeleni kwakho nxa ubhejile ujwayele ukwenza njani? Uyawina yini isikhathi esiningi?
Kuwina kwangibona vele kuncane. Akwazi ukuwina maybe kanye vele ngenyanga kodwa besendla imali le engiwinayo vele profit yangona ngiyibona sokunjini.
Imali le yokubheja ukuyithethe ngapha.
Imali yokubheja le ngiyithethethengise.
This is not allowed. It's our premise.
So asiyezwa mama. So into khona ukuthi wena uzakhontinue ubheja. This one is saying I'm not allowed, so move away.
Yeah?
Move away.
Yeah, but
So now also look uzile ubheja you cannot be a win World Cup.
Yabe ngakwazi ngifaka nje.
So now ubheja ubona niya win World Cup here.
Ubona wami ngani Spain singawini.
Ubona ni
Spain singawini World Cup.
Yabo.
Interesting exchange there about betting. That was Ezra Sibanda speaking to Pilani Sibanda in Bulawayo. Now let's take a short break. Please don't go away. We'll be right back. For those that have just joined us, please note that we are streaming live on all our Facebook pages, VOA Shona, VOA Studio 7, and VOA Ndebele. We're also streaming live on YouTube, VOA Zimbabwe. Now for perspective, we are joined via Skype by our guest, Sunday Shomari, a VOA reporter in Qatar. And we're also joined by Benjamin Gope, a Zimbabwean, also in Doha, Qatar. But we'll start off with Sunday Shomari. Hello to the program, Sunday.
Hello, Marvelous. How are you doing there?
I'm pretty excited to find out, when I spoke to you last, you were watching the last match where an African team was playing. Ghana at that time I'm not sure what the result was, but you were literally like, hey, this is on tenterhooks. Tell us a little bit about what the mood is like in Doha, Qatar, especially when the African teams are playing.
Yes, Marvelous, when African teams are playing, the whole world in Qatar is shaking. All the people who came from all over Africa are now supporting their teams. And for the most part, when that happens, it's vibe. It's a great vibe. People are happy, especially when you have the results. When Cameroon played, it was a draw. Or when Ghana played, really, the Black Stars shined as we all saw it happening. And therefore, people from Ghana in here and all the Africans, really, not just the ones from Ghana, are very happy, over the moon for the great result that they got tonight, which some of them did not even expect. Marvelous. It's not an easy game to win in World Cup, and yet to get 3 goals, not just 1, 3. It's a big, big win for Ghana and for Africa.
So what does it mean now, especially for the 5 African teams in the World Cup? Do you see any chances of some of them breaking away from the group stages from these performances that we've seen in the past 2 days?
Well, Marvelous, it's hard to tell because it's like a lottery here, whereby one team wins today and the other team loses tomorrow. Who knew that Ghana would have lost the first game to Portugal? Although it was a tough game, and who knew they're going to win today? They did win today. So at least you could say there's light at the end of the tunnel, that if Ghana wins the next game, definitely they're going. And also, who knows? If they draw and somebody else loses in that group, they could be having a chance. But on the other hand, Cameroon has a very tough road because they're facing the mighty Brazil. You know how good they are. And for them to proceed, they have to win. That is a must win for Cameroon. Although what they did today is a historic draw, coming back down from 2 goals. It has never happened, Marvelous. The only time it happened in the World Cup history is twice, 2006 and 2010. South Africa and Ivory Coast are the only 2 teams came down from 2 goals and got a win, and the other one got a draw. So they did something historical, which is good for Africa.
And how are the fans celebrating? We saw a lot of dance and song breaking out, especially when they saw that they were in the dying minutes and might actually win for Africa. When we saw Ghana playing, how are the fans celebrating?
Yes, Marvelous. They are going bananas and very happy because this was like sitting on eggshells. You don't know what's going to happen. Those extra 10 minutes at the end seemed like 30 minutes for them, really. Some of them were praying, some of them were doing all kinds of things, just hoping.
And also, Sunday, you just mentioned something that one of the videos that we had, one of the soccer people from Zimbabwe were saying that they are not sure how this extra time is being awarded at the end of each match. What's your view on this?
Well, Marvelous, if you remember back in the days or with other games or other matches, what we do know is once you delay the time, extra time is given by the referee for those hours or for those minutes, so to speak, that were maybe injury and other things. But now they say that they do award these minutes without waiting for anything else, because most of the people here, all the players are taking advantage. When they see the time is running, you try to kill the time as much as you want. But now they're saying they're adding every minute, not only when someone is injured, but also when you delay the time by doing other things. So they're trying to make sure that maybe saving the time as much as they can. And I think they're doing this just to prevent teams from deliberately delaying time. So this is a rule that it's really, for some people, very confusing, but we're yet to learn more from it, so to speak, when probably speak to FIFA officials and see how are they really getting this extra time, because sometimes instead of 2 minutes, you're talking about 10 minutes.
Yes, we saw that.
I mean, people are wondering what is going on.
Please stay on the line, Sunday Shomari, our VOA reporter there in Doha, Qatar. We're going to take actually a Zimbabwean who's also in Doha, Qatar, Benjamin Gope, who was at one of these matches. Talk chingamidza ipachirongwa Eva Gope.
Makadi zvenyu.
Aiwa, tofara kumbonzwawo vari kuDoha kuQatar vekuZimbabwe. Tinoona kuti pane mitambo yakawanda yanga iri kutambwa ikoko kuQatar. Imi makakwanisa kuenda kumitambo ipi? Uyezve munoona sei kutamba kuri kuita zvikwata zvemuAfrica?
So far ndaenda mitambo kunoonera kuground mitambo miri. Ndakaenda wokutanga wakatanga kutambwa ichitambwa neQatar. Ndabva nhasi kutaura kwandiri kuita ndabva kumutambo weCameroon neSerbia. Saka kwanga kuchinakidza mamwe magame ese tiri kuona hedu tiri kupa, asi hazviri kunakidza chose.
Tinoona mataura imi kuti dai zvaibvira mungadai muri kuwanikwa muchisapota chikwata chekumusha. Muri kuona sei nezvamuri kuona ikoko mataura kuti mamuri kumutambo weCameroon neSerbia? Zvii zvamunoshuwirawo takatarisa Zimbabwe?
Zvaizofadzawo dai Zimbabwe yanga iri kudo tichienda tineiona kuti tiisapota, nekuti ndiri kudaro nekuti ndiri kutarisa zvikuita mamwe maAfrican teams countries ari kuno. Zvinoratidza kuti hapana chinotadzika. Vamwe kana vachizviita tinozvitadza nei. Kana wauyawo kuno, kana matimu auya kuWorld Cup kunoku, mamwe acho anenge amabhiza. Saka hazvina zvekutomboti nenge ndovanowina, matimu akati ndo anoenda mberi. Nekuti maAfrican teams ari kunoku ari kuita zvinodadisa. Zviri kutoshamisa vanhu vakawanda, asi zviri kufadza isu vakawandawo vekuAfrica vari kuno. Saka tiri kufamba nayo African teams dzedu kuti tinosvika kure here, haveno, but so far so good.
Pazvikwata izvozvi zvekuAfrica imi muri kutsigira chipi?
Ghana yandinakidza. Kana Cameroon iri kutamba zvakanaka sterek, nekuti unoona kuti havasi kutamba havasi kutya. Havazviye zvikunzi mazita mahombe kana chii, aiwa, vari kungotamba bhora sebhora. Saka zviri kufadza zvikuru.
Mumwe mutambo wamuri kutarisira kuenda kunoona ndeupi?
Ndakamirira yezvinezvi because magroup games ari kupera musi wefriday iri kuteera ine toita kupinda manje mumalocal stages. Saka ipapo ndopandichakunoona mamwe magames.
Aiwa, batai makadaro. Please stay on the line. Let's go back to Sunday, because I know, Sandro, you have a really, packed schedule. But let me just have a few minutes with you and then let you go so we can take our callers. Sunday, so we've been, talking to a Zimbabwean who's there in Doha, Qatar, and he was just talking about how he wished, Zimbabwe had been at this tournament, but obviously they are not. But we've also seen other African countries coming in with huge delegates. How do they pick on who is coming to actually be in the fan base, for example?
Well, I think that depends on the country, and we have seen delegation from Nigeria. I can't tell you how many of them are here, but we've seen the leader of the delegation, and other countries are also here, because I do believe that each country is given a number of people to come in with the delegation of FIFA. And each football association has a number of people to come over to the World Cup. And not only the World Cup, but also other African, for instance, African Championship games or other African Nations Cup. So they have a number, but I cannot tell you, Marvelous, a specific number, and the guidelines, those are yet to, when we have to look into that and find out how many people are supposed to be coming.
And talking about one of our, our people who are here from Zimbabwe were saying that he was happy about how African teams played, and they were playing without fearing players with big names. What is that experience like to see, these young upcoming players playing against players with big names and big tags, price tags on them?
Well, that's very interesting and very good to see, and a great experience, just like you saw Ghana playing against Ronaldo. I mean, this is the time that they need to show that also they can do it, I mean, this is an opportunity when you're meeting such a big player with a big price tag. Why don't you show you can do something about it? I mean, that's what also Saudi Arabia did when they played Lionel Messi in Argentina. Everybody was saying, you know what? We don't have to worry about his name. We're here to play the game. And I think this is a build-up to the new stars and future stars of Africa. Like you saw today, Mohamed Kudus from Ghana scored a brace in that game. And this young man is a man to watch because he also plays for Ajax in Amsterdam. And he scored a very good goal also against Liverpool in Champions League. So we have some very good talent in Africa that this is their moment to shine. And I'm sure they know that. So that is why they're taking everything into consideration without worrying who they're playing against right now.
Talking about those soccer stars to watch, who else would you say is actually coming out of Africa and needs to be watched for future? Because we saw, I was watching, an analysis of how Messi played at one World Cup years back when he was still a teenager or, very young. And now he's coming back as one of the oldest players. So which players are they to be watched on this one?
I believe there are so many to be watched, and we're yet to see when the breakout comes. If you remember today when we played, Cameroon played, there was one man who came in the second half. His name is Vincent Abubakar. This guy is a golden boot. He won the golden boot in African Cup of Nations. And even players and fans are complaining about Ringo Batson. Coach, why did he put him so late in the first game when Cameroon played? You saw him when he came in today. He came in the last, at least 53rd minute. He scored the second goal. Beautiful goal. And then he assisted on the third goal. But the previous match, he didn't come in until about after the 70th minute. So you have these people, and he doesn't play in Premier League, actually. He plays in Saudi Arabia. Did you know that?
No.
Nobody's even following Saudi Arabia, right? But this guy is such a heck of a player. So these people, like Vincent Abubakar and other young players, we will be seeing them coming up. And I think this is a ground where we'll say, oh my God, never did we know about Vincent Abubakar. We didn't know about Mohamed Kudus, but some of them, we already heard about them. But there's so many who are coming, and let's keep watching. And I'm sure we'll see a lot of them coming up from our continent.
Thank you so much, Sunday Shomari. If you can just give us your last word so we can let you go.
As I said, Marvelous, and I will keep saying, this is the World Cup of surprises. Surprises, surprises, surprises. We're yet to see so much to come. So let's keep our eyes open, please.
Thank you so much. We're hearing there potanga tiri kunzwa mutori wedu wenahu ari kuKatar kuDoha Sunday Shomari anga ari kutaura nesu pamusoro pezvaari kuona zviri kuitika kumakwikwi aya. Saka pane pari zvinotombomuti aiwa Sunday, thank you so much and goodbye. Todzokera kune munyarikani wedu mukoma Benjamin Gope. Takamirira hedu kutaura nevateereri vanga vari kuti vada kufonerwa uyezve tichiona kuti muri kuti chii pama Facebook pages edu eVOA Shona VOA Ndebele and VOA Studio 7. Mukoma Benjamin Gope, mamuri kunzwa zvanga zviri kutaurwa nemutori wedu wenhau. Pane mamwe maplayers here amuri kuona imimi ari kunwisa mvura ekuAfrica nyanya vechidika?
Vakati one day asi ataura nezva anzi Abubakar wokuCameroon kudai maona bhora raanwisa nemanwisiro aita vakomana veku Morocco chete vamwe Morocco zvavo vanotambirawo mumatimu mawo ekunana England, asi chikuru chandiri kuona hangu, in as much as we don't want to lose maplayers edu ekuafrica achienda kunotambira dzimwe nyika, vari kutamba zvakanaka ivava vachawana mukana wokutorwawo nevamwe maklabhu ekunze uku kwavanozonoitawo mukurumbira. Handisi kuzoshamisika zvakadaro zvikaitika, nekuti rimwe bhora racho ravari kutamba riri kuratidza kuti tiri vekuafrica zvedu, asi tinokwanisa kutambawo panotambwa nevamwe.
Aiwa, manyatsotaura zvechokwadi, nekuti imi mataura kuti manga murimo mumutambo uyu weCameroon. Munonzwa sei muchiona mutambo wakadai semakwikwi eWorld Cup murimo muground imomo?
Zvinonakidza zvikuru, uye uchionawo vanhu vazhinji nyika dzakawanda dzinenge vanosapota vacho vanenge vakapfekawo nhumbi dzekunyika dzavo, vachiridza madhirama, ngoma, hosho, vachiita sei, nekuti nyika dzakawanda dzakabva nyika pasi rino rese. Saka unoona kusiyana-siyana kwavanhu, nowechisu vedu vekuafrica manje vachiitawo zvedu zvekuafrica, zvinonakidza mufungezve. Nekuti tee takatomirawo tiri mukati mevamwe wochiti africa uko chiichi, vachidaro. Saka zvinonakidza zvikuru, uye zvinongopa shungu yekuti dai yeduwo yanga iri kuda sekutaura kwandiri yedu, asi hazvina mhosva, zvichaitika hazvo nerimwe zuva.
Maybe if we can just go into English. So when you're going to some of these matches, are you carrying your Zimbabwean flag, or are you identifying with whichever team is playing at that time? You mentioned you were at the Cameroon match earlier on. Tell us a little bit about that. What is that experience like for you?
No, at the moment, because I'm not carrying Zimbabwean flag because our Zimbabwean team is not here. So not many people would be able to associate my regalia with the team that is playing. But I just go there as a football lover. I like football. I follow football. So what happens is I go there to enjoy myself, and when the African teams are playing, I also go there to support my fellow Africans and enjoy. Especially when they are doing so well, it gives us pride as Africans.
Interesting take there. And I spoke to your wife earlier on, I think over the weekend, and she was saying normally Qatar is very quiet, but now it's full of a lot of tourists. Tell us a little bit about that.
This is a small country, a small country, very small population. The actual local people are about 350,000. And the rest of the people you see around are foreigners. And at this time, it's mainly tourists who have come in for the World Cup. So the whole place is vibrant. Every place you go to, there's no night here now because the city is alive 24 hours. Wherever you go, there's life, there's entertainment, there's dancing. People are enjoying themselves.
Wow.
There's fanfare areas where people, even those who don't go to the stadiums, they can watch football on big screens outside. And all the facilities are there, including food and whatever you want.
Thank you so much, Koma Benjamin Gope, a Zimbabwean in Doha, Qatar, who's also a huge soccer fan. Saka chitipai iskurengera kupedzera kuti ndechipi chikwata chamuri kufunga kuti chichatora mucombination?
Brazil.
Okay, thank you so much, Mukoma. Tichange takatarisa kuti zvichaitika here, kuti Brazil ingabudirira here. Thank you. You have a very good night. So we'd like to thank our guest, Benjamin Gope, Zimbabwean in Doha, Qatar, and a soccer fan. And also, we had our reporter, Sunday Shomari of VOA, also in Doha, Qatar. I'm Marvelous Mhlanganya Huye, thanking you for having been streaming with us and also listening to our show. Let's meet again soon. You have a very good night.